Congressman Tim Burchett, the Republican of Tennessee, House Oversight Committee member, Foreign Affairs, integral player here. Congressman, very good to have you. What's the under and over in your mind, sir, about whether we are going to have a shutdown?
Well, I'm not a betting man. I've lost plenty of money in the stock market. I guess that's the only betting I do. But yeah, it's we are. I think we're headed towards a shutdown. I really do. I don't know how long it is. They usually average 2 to 3 days. We've had several in the last few decades, so it won't surprise me if that happens this weekend.
So, Congressman, if the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, cobbles together something with enough Republicans, obviously he'd have a lot of Democrats, would that doom him? Would you or any of your fellow members say that's enough? You've just crossed a line.
Well, it depends on what's in the bill, Mr. Cavuto. I mean, if he just throws down the gauntlet with money for Ukraine and doesn't address the border. The thing is, though, you know, we've been dealing with these issues since January. And as I've stated many times, September 30th comes around about this time every year, as you know. And so we should have addressed this a long time ago. We shouldn't have gone home the month of August. We should have been working up here instead of working in our districts. Oddly enough, I do more work at home than I do up here. But truth be known, we should have been working. And this coming in at these meetings at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, catering in pizzas for lunch and then kicking out at about 4:30. You know, the average American doesn't buy that. We walk out with our Brooks Brothers suit jacket over our shoulder and our sleeves rolled up and our ties pulled down, and we say, boy, we've been working hard, and nobody's buying that garbage. Look, we are $33 trillion in debt. Both parties are at fault. The Democrats do it on woke garbage, and we do it on missile defense plans that we do not need. You know, Fitch, when they downgrade us, they gave 2 reasons. One was leadership, and the other was fiscal spending in the last 20 years. So it cuts both parties. We should get back to work. This is ridiculous. We should have had the 15 or so of us that are opposed to this crazy spending in a room with leadership day one and started working over it. But no, our egos got the best of us, and we're still waiting for that meeting with leadership.
That sounds like this is on Kevin McCarthy. He botched it.
Well, the Speaker is the Speaker, and we need leadership. I don't need a wringing of hands and telling us how bad it's going to get. And this continued doing what we've been doing for the last 30 years obviously is not working, Mr. Cavuto. We need to continue. We need to start working like the American public. And I called home this morning. My wife had been up since 6 o'clock working on our farm in the barn, taking care of business. And I dare say most East Tennesseans, or most Tennesseans, and probably most Americans had been hitting it pretty long before we decided to roll out of bed up here and decide to do something. We've got all week. These committees that should be making these vital decisions are not meeting right now. Let's get to work. Let's stop with all the garbage, and let's get back to work. This country deserves it. And, you know, I'm not kidding you. I'm afraid we're going to lose our country. We are in a fiscal downturn, and all of this talk and all of this going on, you know, they talk about how harmful it's going to be if we shut down the government. Well, what happens if we further deflate the dollar and inflation just starts skyrocketing again, which it has been? We're going to do so much more harm there than we are going to be shut down for 3 or 4 days. So I'd submit to you, let's get back to work. Let's start doing our job and quit with all this nonsense, this game plan. All they're doing is pushing us up against the you know, they want to pass a continued resolution. Well, that's 30 days. And then they say, let's pass another CR so we don't have to pass any more CRs. I mean, that's like telling a crackhead, I'm going to give you more crack to get you off of crack. That doesn't work. We are addicted to this money, and we're spending our great-grandchildren's future.
It's very well laid out. People could agree or disagree, Congressman, but you were very, very clear where you're coming from on this. Best of luck in this. Congressman Tim Burchett, the Republican from Tennessee.